I love the movie. I loved your performance as Lily, and yeah, can't wait for more people to see it. Yeah, and I understand, of course, this was based on Tracy's real life, story and this unlikely friendship. So I was curious, could you talk about sort of working with her to bring Lily to life, and how close you think it sort of came to Tracy, and then if you found yourself taking your own liberties to sort of make Lily your own.
Totally. So Tracy and I, when we first started working on this character, it was unspoken. It wasn't like we said it, but it was just I could tell she wasn't interested in me just like recreating her childhood, or like her young adulthood. Like I wasn't, she didn't want me to, look like her and have her mannerisms and all that stuff. Like I
Right.
wasn't necessarily playing her in the movie, but I was playing a version of what me and her created in these conversations. A woman that both of us can deeply relate to, but is was raised in a different way, in a different background, and it has her own uniquely Lily things. And so it was really cool because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know she wanted me to just really kind of go for it and just play a version of her. But in reality, what I think was way more interesting and way more effective for the movie was that we created this completely separate character with our both of our experiences together, and then into a completely separate, like different mannerisms, different way of communicating, different way of showing emotions, character. And so it was really cool. We like built her up from lots of conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the end result is wonderful. I found myself shedding a tear by the end.
Oh,
Seriously. Yeah, it was great. And you have wonderful chemistry opposite the great John Leguizamo. I'm a huge fan of his as well. I was curious, do you find yourself like revisiting any of his past work? Do you have a favorite movie of his from over the years that you
oh my God, yeah. So I don't I don't want to be embarrassing, but right after I came home after I rewatched To Wong Foo because it's like the greatest movie of all time. And I grew up watching a lot of Baz Luhrmann, so Moulin Rouge, Romeo and Juliet. He's so incredible. I also didn't. Oh my dog's going crazy. I didn't know that he was Sid in Ice Age until this movie,
Oh yeah.
and it changed my complete perspective on the world. Like I was like so shocked because I loved Ice Age growing up, and I
Oh
still
yeah,
do.
me too.
So, his work is just so magnificent and just he's so prolific. And like, he also did a lot of theater and like all these things. The John Leguizamo lore is crazy and I love it. I just really respect the heck out of it.
And then, stepping on set with him, I mean, was there, doing those wonderful scenes, was there anything about his craft or, on set that surprised you about him, or maybe not? I mean, maybe it was everything you hoped and dreamed it would be.
He's incredibly kind and sweet, and it was truly everything I ever hoped it could be. I
Yeah.
could dream
Yeah.
I could be. But it was really I always learn from actors who've been doing it for way longer time than me in whatever way it is. And the confidence that he has from being such a legend, and the way that he commands the set was really powerful to me. Like he knew exactly what he needed and he asked for it in a way that was completely polite, straight to the point, professional, everything. And I was just like, oh, as a young woman, you tend to always kind of shroud everything in like, I'm sorry, sorry, can I, sorry, please, sorry, I apologize for existing. Would you mind, So and so for me, it's always so cool to see people really like be able to take a leadership role in on the set and make things happen and make sure that everything's running smoothly like him. And so I definitely took some notes down from that.
Oh, no, yes, and yeah, that's great to hear. And I owned Ice Age on DVD, so I'm right there
Uh,
with you.
hell yeah.
I was also reading about your upcoming film, Faces of Death, which looks very interesting. I was curious if there's anything you could share about maybe your character, what it was like working with Charlie XCX, who, everyone.
Love Charlie. Well, the movie itself was so fun. We shot this before Bob Trevino, so this is literally 2.5 years ago, and we did it
Okay.
in New Orleans, and it was the first time I ever was number one on the call sheet. It was my first main character role, and it was so fun. I was like I was so nervous. I was like, can I pull this off? I've never been the main character of anything before, and this is like a big horror movie, you know? And it was like an incredibly great, like Danny, who directed it, is so cool, and just the exact kind of like contemporary director that I really like, really like love and like love his work. How to Build Up a Pipeline, Cam, like his work is just like really transcendent of like contemporary filmmakers, and I really love it. It was so cool. The movie's great. It's like scary as hell. Um, it's everything you want in a horror movie, you know? So hopefully it comes out soon. I feel like people want to see it. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I can't wait to see that. And after doing Nope and House of Spoils, which both movies I really enjoyed. I spoke to Ariana when House of Spoils was coming out. That was a great
Mhm.
movie. I mean, do you hope to do more in the genre, or is it sort of like after doing Faces of Death, you kind of want to take a breather?
Well, for me, I think this is like the plight of an actor is like we always are trying to reinvent ourselves and not trying to be put in a box. And it's so like also like a lame journey of always trying to like run away from yourself. But I also am always trying to, I am always trying to, do something different. I love horror. I grew up watching a lot of horror, a lot of horror, a lot. And so for me as an emo kid, like horror just like speaks to me in a way that most other genres don't. So I would love to do more horror. I think that, because I did Faces, I feel like there's maybe like a little pause on it just to see what else is out there. But my love for horror is so big that I would love to be part of it in whatever capacity. Maybe next time I'll be the scary one.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And I was curious, after doing 2 seasons of Euphoria, I mean, all you guys have sort of gone on to do these wonderful other projects. I was curious if you stayed in touch with any of your co-stars from the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sydney and Maud came to see my play on Broadway. I did a run of Cult of Love. It was amazing. So they came to see the play, which was very, very sweet. It was so sweet. I was at the Helen Hayes Theater 6 days a week, doing eight shows a week. So it was really nice whenever I got to see a familiar face. So they came to see it. And yeah, it just whenever we're in town and we get to see each other, it's very special.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's great to hear. And then, going back to Bob Trevino, I mean, it sounded like you had said you'd sort of brought some of your own experiences to the role of Lily. I mean, were there particular parts, reading the script that you found yourself in particular relating to, whether it was like the part of like going down the social media rabbit hole, or maybe like that family dynamic, or making this unlikely friend? I mean, did any of that sort of strike you like, oh, I sort of kind of was like that at one point, or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean that was like a big thing with Lily's. I grew up without a father figure, like completely. Like my whole life, I didn't have a father figure. I didn't even have like a nice Bob in my life, you know. So to me, it was almost like I was playing out this fantasy of like what would happen if I had a father figure in my life at a young age, you know. And so to me, that was really also beautiful. It was something I didn't have, and so it felt like the hopefulness of the film almost was an answer to my pain in a lot of ways and to my frustrations with my own father. And it's like it just felt like that was the therapeutic kind of answer to all of it, was performing these emotions that were so real to me, feeling like everything you do is wrong, feeling like you're inherently bad, not asking, being hyper independent to the point where you can't even, like, you don't even know how to use a toilet plunger, like things that you just don't have any guidance for, like living life without guidance was a big thing for Lily. And I really wanted to play her like an inner child, like my inner child that was bruised and begging for help. And before, you start the journey of like healing and becoming one with your inner child, it tends to fight its way to the forefront. And so that was really where I started with Lily.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean that's great, and I mean it's great that again, 'cause it was such an authentic performance, and yeah, like I said, it's going to make other people cry as well, and
Thank
yeah,
you.
it's
Thank
a
you. I appreciate it.
yeah, it's a wonderful little project, and I can't wait to see your future projects, and yeah, it was great chatting with you. So thank you, Barb.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.